the starkness of the flash, but then also the idea of awareness. Is the subject aware of who we are and how different? So that's what makes this a snapshot, whereas the card we'll see later is a formal portrait, and there's a way in which the subjects obviously know they're being photographed. And just note also the hand gesture in this. And then Philip Lorca de Corsia, who in fact did a whole series of photos in Hartford. Unfortunately, I couldn't. There's one I wanted to get, but I wasn't able to get it. And here, he just, obviously we've all had this feeling, but this is highly orchestrated. This is his brother, and he set this up, and the lighting is perfect, and there's this great difference between the construct of it and then how it feels like we're there in the kitchen with him. And I was reading Jeff Dyer, one of my favorite writers, talking about Philip Lorca de Corsia, and he said what's remarkable about the people in these photographs is they're like the people in Hopper's paintings. They find a resting place within a moment that is wholly transitional. They remain stuck at the level of a noun without the recourse to a verb. And I was thinking about those quotes when I went this summer to Hartford to see the Caravaggio show. And I'll continue with what Jeff says about Philip Lorca de Corsia, because he felt the feeling was that it's not that time has stopped, it's just nowhere to be seen. And yet the characters seem in partial possession of some form of motivation, if only they could remember what it was, or, more accurately, what it meant to act on it. And as I was standing and looking at this Caravaggio, thinking about the pose and how he's resting there, and he seems like he's about to move, but not quite, he'll be there forever. I thought the two, actually, between the contemporary photographer and the Caravaggio done so many years earlier, had a great feeling. And Lord, you have to say that is the best elbow ever painted. And so here's the part. Now, this is stuff I was looking at a lot, because there's a way in which, in a formal portrait, there's a complicity between us and the sitter. The sitter knows they're being photographed, and why are they doing it, and what does it mean to be a formal portrait. And actually, but I thought quite interesting when I was looking at these images, how much George Bernard Shaw's gesture goes with the gesture of the Ouija photograph of the man sleeping, and how we read, it's the same gesture, yet it means completely different things. So this is where I led back into this painting that you'd seen. So beyond thinking about formal portrait photography, I was also thinking about how death scenes are portrayed in art. From Goya's 3rd of May to the death of Marat, to Manet's Dead Toreador, and how the foreground, how we come into the painting, really changes how we feel about the image. This was shown in that show, you can see it on the far